Hi, this lesson will teach you to describe the basic structure of the atom, define isotopes and ions, and represent isotopes and ions using standard notations. This set of notes today is going to focus just on this first one to describe the basic structure of the atom. In School G, you will in today's folder, you will find a set of notes called Subatomic Particles Notes. Please go ahead and pull those out and come back here when you're ready to take notes for today. So in a previous lesson, you may have learned about the different particles in an atom by talking about atomic history. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to work through this and sort of summarize the information that came out of that. So go ahead and topic your notes using subatomic particles. So we know that atoms have three kinds of particles in them. They have protons, they have neutrons, and they have electrons. Okay. Today we're going to explore the differences between these three types of particles. All right, so we're going to go ahead and label these. Okay. In the inside of the atom, we have this big structure right here that has all of these yellow and orange balls in them. That is the nucleus. It's drawn too big in this picture. In reality, it is much, much smaller. It's about 2,000 times smaller than the rest of the atom. Then, other things we have in there. The orange balls that we have in there, those are neutrons. The yellow ones, those are protons. And out here on the outside, we have these smaller particles. Those are our electrons. And last but not least, we have some orbits out here in empty space that we're going to put those electrons in. This will be the representation of the atom that we will use for a while in this class. So taking from that diagram and what we've learned previously, we should be able to describe protons, neutrons, and electrons. So you're going to go ahead and you are going to put these into the table that is in your notes. Okay, start with proton, put neutron in the middle, put electron on the right. That will help you out in terms of filling this chart out. So how are these particles different from each other? Well, one way they are different is based on their charge. Protons have a positive charge. Neutrons have a neutral charge, or in other words, no charge at all. And electrons have a negative charge. Another way they are different, from the picture we filled in before, you can tell that they have different locations. Protons are in that middle part, called the nucleus. Neutrons are in the middle part, called the nucleus. And electrons, they're out around in those orbits out there in the empty space around the nucleus. Another way that they're different from each other is their size. And in this case, we're talking about mass, okay, how much mass they have. In general, we're not going to actually put a number to the mass, but we're going to say that both protons and neutrons are big. Electrons are much, much smaller. They're 1/2000th the size in terms of mass of protons and neutrons. Protons and neutrons, they have almost the exact same mass. So if that's how the particles are different, the question then is, what could we change to make one atom different from another? Well, we could change the number of protons, electrons, and neutrons. Okay, little abbreviations up here that we do use. We do use P+ for protons. We use E- for electrons, and sometimes N0 for neutrons, indicating what the particle is and its charge. So, what we're going to do next is go ahead and do a group activity having to do with isotopes and ions. If you're doing this later on, it'll be just a solo activity by yourself. But there are a couple models, Model 1 and 2, that you're going to use to answer the questions. They're in the POGL. As you get to the end or get through it, there'll be stop signs along the way, and there's a key that is posted, and you can go ahead and check your work with that key. Okay. That'll be your work for the rest of the lesson. When you're done with that all, there is a quiz to talk about to summarize what you've learned today.